So, yeah, Unus Annus is over. It's kind of weird. I mean, I wasn't sure if I was gonna make this video given that, you know, there's been people who've already like said their piece on Unus Annus. And I'm doing this wearing my official Unus Annus shirt. And then I also got the pin, and it came with a sticker before the store shut down. I also got one of the Campus Honest shirts too. Well, I originally wanted to get the Campus Honest like fanny packs, but those sold out so quickly. I'm like, dang it, there's still people in like the 21st century that still like fanny packs. Arr. So Unus Annus, I was there from the very beginning. I actually found out about it through Mark's channel. I sort of follow him on YouTube, and when he made the announcement, I thought it was a very interesting idea, because now in the time of the 21st century and the digital age, it's really hard for media to really die. Not like it was back in like the 20th century where there's so much what you call lost media, because like back in the day when people were making these TV shows and movies, they never found value in like archiving everything. So like when a movie or TV show gets done, like they never thought that there was any value in any of like, you know, outtakes and stuff. Back then it was before the days of home video and stuff, so they didn't think to keep anything in good condition to sell to people for like the home market. So when VHSs and I think there was the Betamax, I didn't really see much Betamax when I was a kid. When they started doing the home video thing with like movies and stuff, there was a huge market that they didn't realize that they had. So then studios started like scrounging around for like extra footage that they can like sell to the general public. But unfortunately, there's stuff like Mouser Size, if anyone remembers that from the old Disney Channel. I used to love watching that, but again, because Disney didn't really keep a good archive of everything they've produced, a lot of that's ended up being lost media. So if you're expecting to see all these old Disney Channel stuff from like the 80s and the 90s to show up on Disney Plus, I'm like, chances are it's gone. So the idea that something like a YouTube channel just existing for the span of 1 year and then just all traces of it disappearing, I feel like it kind of coincides with how there's like an expiration date on even our TV shows and stuff. It's like when these shows are on the air, like with Transformers 1980s, when that went off the air, I never saw any traces of it. I know they re-aired it on some other channels, but for me growing up, I never had access to those channels. To me, the original Transformers cartoon was lost media, so I ended up growing up with Beast Wars. Like, that was my Transformers growing up. And then years later, they actually re-released it on like DVDs and stuff, and now I have like the entire collection on my bookshelf. But here we have like Unus Annus. It's not something that I mean, I know there's people who can, like, there's methods you can use to download YouTube videos. So if people wanted to like copy all the videos for their own personal viewing, then that's their prerogative. But when it comes to like online viewing, like Mark and Ethan are really intent on making sure like you can't view this publicly anymore. It's like if you downloaded it, that's on you, but if you re-upload it, like they're taking it down. Like they want to make sure that this is very much a temporary existence. And again, linking back to the idea of lost media, it's like when you try to talk about it to people who aren't there, there's just like, there's a separation, whereas you were there when it happened, whereas everyone else who weren't in it, they're not in the joke, as you would say. It's kind of a neat idea for them to make this channel only to delete everything off of it. So it's like, it gives people an opportunity to be part of this phenomenon that's only going to be around for a year, kind of like lost media, where it's like, you can't really explain the TV shows when they were on the air, because like watching old TV shows on like DVD and home video like years later, it's like, it doesn't have the same impact as you having seen it broadcasted for the first time on TV. There's just like a different feeling to that. And I think that was kind of like the feeling that Unus Annus was trying to capture, is like you just had to have been there to experience all these videos when it happened. Because if you download it and then watch it years later, it doesn't have the same impact. So I think that was really the general feeling that they were going for. And it was great because it wasn't just encompassing a YouTube channel. They also had like the Instagram, which apparently didn't really get much attention. And then they had the Twitter, and then they had the Tumblr account, and they had the subreddit. And it was all like part of this 1 year experience. And it was like either you were in it or you were not. It kind of also ties in with it not being advertised very widely, because a lot of people, like, there were still people who were still unaware this whole thing was happening. And again, that ties into lost media too. Like, I didn't get to be part of the initial viewing of Transformers. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of the people who got to see like original cartoons or like the original media when it first became broadcasted, but at the same time, it's like, you know, sometimes there's gonna be experiences that you're gonna be part of and sometimes you're not. That's just kind of how life goes. It's like Beanie Babies, the original Beanie Babies, I was there when it became a phenomenon. I got all like the McDonald's Happy Meals, Beanie Babies and stuff. And if you try to explain that to someone now, when this is something that happened like many, many years ago, it's like they're not going to really understand being part of that experience because, again, they weren't there. And now if you try to find Beanie Babies now, like they don't look this cute anymore. They have these like weird gigantic eyes. They're trying to be like Disney style doe-eyed creatures, and yeah, it's not really appealing. That's basically what Unus Annus is all about. It's like, it's something for people to experience. I feel I would equate it to like performance art. It's just, you just have to be there to experience it, and then once it's gone, it's gone. It's like, it's never really the same if you try to replicate it. That's pretty much what Mark and Ethan said in their last video, their last live stream. It's like, yeah, they were the first to do it, but if anyone else were to try to do the same thing, it wouldn't be the same. Because, of course, they're going to do their own takes on it. Maybe they'll pick a different color scheme rather than just do black and white spirals or something. Like, they'll do it their way, but it won't be the same way as Mark and Ethan has done Unus Annus. And, of course, Amy gets some credit for that, too. So, yeah, it's like, there's bragging rights saying, like, I was there. But, I mean, again, for all the people who missed out, sometimes that's how things go. Sometimes you get to be in on a really amazing experience that other people are also in on, and sometimes you just end up getting left out. Yeah, getting left out sucks, but life is just a gamble. Sometimes you're going to be in certain experiences that will be available to you, and they'll be just as fun. And sometimes you have experiences that you wish you were there for it, and either you came too late, or maybe you were like me, born too late to enjoy the original broadcast of all these amazing cartoons. Well, I wouldn't say they were amazing. I know a lot of people look back on like the old decades of old media with like rose-colored glasses. Like, I admit, I've looked back fondly on my experience seeing Beast Wars broadcasted for the first time on TV, but now if I were to go back and look at it, I was like, yeah, it's not all that great anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on Unus Annus. I mean, if you were there with me, comment down below. On the last stream, I was about like 40, because they started around like 12 p.m. my time, Pacific time, and I was like 41 minutes late, and I tried to stay there for the whole time. Unfortunately, I had to go and eat lunch and dinner, so I missed like a good portion of it. Apparently, Mark and Ethan had cake on the stream, and I was like, oh, I mean, I want to watch them eat cake. I saw him get the hat, so like Mark gets a hat hashtag. I really hope they do something with those suits, because those are some pretty snazzy suits that they wore for the duration of Unus Annus. And then when Mark got that top hat to really like complete the look, I was like, I really hope he does something with that. I mean, he recently announced that there's gonna be a Heist with Markiplier 2, so hopefully he'll like use the suit for something like that. He said he wasn't gonna wear the suit anymore, but I'm like, now that he got the top hat, you've gotta use it for something. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on the matter. It was Unus Annus. It was such a trip. I mean, Mark and Ethan, they didn't get to make all the videos they wanted to with like, you know, COVID and the quarantine and stuff, but like the videos they did make, like there were some pretty good ones even when they were under quarantine. Like, given that the Unus Annus, they made a video every day from the beginning to end, so there's like 365, or I think they said like there was more videos than that, so everyone got like a birthday video, and my birthday video that they aired was the salsa dancing, where Mark and Ethan went to a studio and like learned how to do salsa dancing, and like so many memes came from that. There's like a screenshot of like Mark walking towards Ethan in like a weird pose, and like so many people did like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure memes with that, and the walk casually towards Child. That was a great video. But I think like one of my more favorite videos were when they were on quarantine and they had to be separated. There's one where they were exploring long lost HTML websites from like the early days, like the ancient days of the internet. Man, there was that one website where they visited the Demon Buster website, and it was like this loud, obnoxious, like chanting song in the background, and I was like, oh my god, there's so many websites back then where they would have music playing in the entire time you're on the website, and there was like no way for you to shut it off. There was like no like pause or like mute button on their website. It was like this thing was gonna be playing, so you either mute your speakers or just deal with it as you're exploring a website. And I remember there were so many websites like that, so that really took me back when they were doing that video. And then the video they made were like the pink trombone, where they're trying to make that website like say words, and we got the Eve meme from that. That was great. I mean, there were some videos that I wasn't particularly fond of, but I sat through all of 360 plus videos. I enjoyed my birthday video. I don't know if you guys enjoyed your birthday videos. I mean, if you want, leave a comment below. I really want to like continue being part of this now exclusive Unus Annus community. I know some people started up like a couple of Reddits for people who were part of the phenomenon that was Unus Annus, and just trying to talk to other people to cope with the loss of an amazingly crazy channel. I mean, that first video they made, if you were there from the beginning, you would know that that first video, and then they ended the last big video on the same note, which pretty much sums up Unus Annus in a nutshell with the first and last video. So yeah, I think this rant has gone on long enough. So until next time, this is the Raptor signing off. Laters. Hopefully my Campus Honest shirt comes in one piece.